Hello, this is Mike, NoStressMike.com. I had a comment, and they were wondering about the children in a three-man militia. And really, that is probably one of you would do it anyway. As in a family, when you go out and have fun and do things like that, you're already really in a militia already, because your primary responsibility is taking care of the family, and that also goes for the children. They will be when you're just going out and having fun and doing stuff, going camping and stuff like that, you're already in the mentality of a three-man militia. When you're like camping, the children are going to go out and get some firewood and stuff like that. Maybe depending on how old they are and their abilities and stuff, they might be using an axe or a machete or something like that to get the firewood. And when the thing is, you don't say stuff like that to them, but to me, I would say it to them, because they are working together as a team with the adults. And then as they learn what they're doing, they can start working with other children, especially, like I said, when you're out camping and stuff like that. I mean, that's a good opportunity to learn what it's like to be in militia. So anytime, and then really, you need to take the kids out anyway. And as the older I get and the more I look around, see, I'm in my own little country world, so I think about everybody's just in the country. But like I say, my time in China, I realized, there's a lot of city folk, and the city folk need to get out. And I know a lot of times, at least here in Oklahoma, about the only place people go is to state parks and stuff like that. Those aren't really, I mean, if you're just starting and you don't know what you're doing, that's probably a good place to go do your camping and stuff like that, because it's under controlled conditions. And like I say, the kids, they don't have any brush and stuff like that, so the kids can, you'll be able to keep an eye on the kids and stuff like that. But as you, as the kids start developing self-confidence and understanding what's expected of them when you go on these outings, then you'll be able to do hiking and stuff like that. And if you know somebody that lives out in the country, and they got some kind of woods or something out there, you might want to see about if you can go out there and go camping. And then I say, well, you don't know how to do all this stuff. Good. That's even better yet. You and the kids can all learn how to do this stuff. And the time of the year to do it. And because the time of the year, you'll use different skills. Like you say, when it gets colder, you'll be making a bigger fire, learn how to cook on the open fire and stuff like that. Do some fishing. I mean, there's all kinds of ways you can learn when you're in a three-man militia. And the neat thing is, for children, they're learning the basics just right there. And I mean, we're talking, 6, 8 years old, 10 years old. I mean, they can be learning a lot of stuff. And then, like I say, by the time they become teenagers, they'll be, oh man, you ought to be able to have guns and knives and all kinds of fun things. And all this will get them away from all that electronic crap. and they'll learn personal responsibility. And I say they get their hands dirty. They learn how to cope with Mother Nature, and also they'll be learning as you can develop something like this. You'll be going out with other people, and then they'll be able to work with other adults, and they'll it just makes things so much easier when a child is learning all these basic things just right from the very start. I'm still amazed. I carry 2 knives at the minimum, and I'm still amazed how many people don't even have a knife. And I say it just came back from Mexico, and when I got off the plane, I had carry-ons only. So I got off the plane, man, I was looking for a knife, and just a plain old pocket knife, just any kind of a knife. And it was very difficult to try to find one. I mean, it was just like China. Knives are illegal. So I mean, it's not like you go to prison, but they'll confiscate it when you have a knife. So I'm amazed how society has really dumbed down. I mean, in general. I mean, the communist countries, I understand, and then Mexico is a socialist country. And then now the United States is getting the same way. In school, man, I mean, I always carried a knife in school. Now it's just this political correctness crap is really damaging our youth. And as in a 3-man militia, that would be a great place for the young folk. And I say, once they understand the system of the militia type stuff, in other words, as individuals in this militia, you're responsible for different things. And like I say, when you start going out with more of a group type, you got some other friends that have some kids and go out with them, and now you can start working together, and you can get a whole lot more done when everybody understands their chores and responsibilities. And kids are no exception. Now, my kids, man, I had them shooting probably 5 or 6 years old. I mean, they single shot 22, and they learned how to shoot really young. They knew what it was. There's nothing dangerous about it. The only thing that's dangerous is the stupid one that's messing with the gun, or knife. And that's what I'm saying. You give them the opportunity when they go out camping, and then they need to carry it when you're out camping. Everybody needs to have a knife, carrying a knife when they're out camping. There's all kinds of things you'll need a knife for. But yeah. And really, that is your responsibility as a father, to try to man up. Part of manning up is taking the kids out and out in the wilderness and doing things with them and teaching them. I remember my kids, we did a thing that on starting fires. Whenever we'd go out to the creek and go play on the creek and shoot on the creek and stuff like that, and I'd have them start a fire, and it's fun, just a simple thing of starting a fire. And then we eventually got up to the thing, we'd give them one match. They have to start a fire with one match, and that's nothing. After they've been learning how to start fires, then they can start a fire with one match. We never did get to the point with no matches, but I say that's my fault. I didn't go on to that much of an extreme, but I say we'd go camping in the winter, and many times we'd wake up with snow on us. So I like the cold and the winter because there's no poison ivy, and no snakes, and no bugs and stuff like that. So that's why I kind of like that. And I don't use a tent when I camp. So I just make a shelter if I need a shelter, and then put the fire up close to the shelter, and then be able to sleep there. I noticed as I got older, I started taking a cot with me. But like I say, a hammock would work really well. But like I say, these are things that you learn, and I'll tell you, the kids have so much fun. But you need to take the kids out to learn. Otherwise, they're going to be educated idiots. And there's a lot of them. I've noticed, especially our youth now. They're really dense. You know, some of the simple things they don't even know. So, children in a militia is a good thing, and as they do it, they will understand the value of working together and learning all these different things. This is Mike, NoStressMike.com.